All right, so this one's going to be how to build a $10,000 investment portfolio by investing $5 per day. This one's going to be quick, concise, and in no uncertain terms. By the end of this, if this is something you're interested in doing, you should have a clear understanding of the first steps to get started and how to go about this. So let's just jump right into it. Number one is you're going to need to get yourself a brokerage. This could be Robinhood, this could be Schwab, this could be Fidelity. There's a ton of them. Just if you Google it, probably anything on the first Google page is going to be safe. I'd encourage you to get something without transaction fees on stock trades, which is pretty much all of them these days, just because that is going to help boost your returns, which is good. So once you've picked your brokerage and you've signed up and funded it, step 2 is to choose your account structure. And I'm not going to spend too long on this because this could be a video all by itself, but I'll lay out a couple common ones that people use. First one's going to be a Roth IRA. This is more if you're looking to build for retirement. This is a great tax-free growth strategy. If you don't plan to access the money till at least 59 and a half, this is basically a gift from the government, and I encourage you to look into it. Second one I'm sure you've heard of is a 401k. This is how most people build wealth for retirement, and what it does is allows you to reduce your taxable income in each year you contribute, and it often and it comes with an employer match if your employer offers that. Said another way, that is free money. So if you're someone who likes free money, that's definitely something that you should look into. And the third is a taxable brokerage account. Now, this doesn't offer any tax benefits, but it's flexible in the sense that you can sell your stocks and take them tomorrow. So it's pretty liquid and it's pretty flexible. I have all three of these, and all three of them serve a different purpose in my portfolio. But for the purposes of today's video, it doesn't really matter which one you choose because the math works the same for all of them. So once you get your brokerage set up and fund it, meaning you put some money into it and you pick your structure, then the next question becomes, what do I invest in? I'm not Warren Buffett. I'll let you know, neither am I. I was a straight C student all through high school, all through college. Not the sharpest tool in the shed, if I'm being honest, but I've been able to build significant wealth by the age of 34, just by consistent investing with the exact steps I'm about to tell you. So you can go and you can pick individual stocks, or if you want to go sort of a safer route, you can pick ETFs. I'll walk you through a few that you could potentially look into, but I'm not an investment professional. So you really should do your own research and you should talk to somebody because there is risk associated with investing. But generally speaking, ETFs are safer than individual stocks. And what an ETF is, if you're not familiar, is basically just a fund that allows you to gain access to a bunch of stocks in one fund so that you're not picking individual stocks. A few that are pretty popular are QQQ. That's a NASDAQ top 100 tech growth stock that's returned roughly 18% annualized over the past 10 years, which is a very high rate of return. There's VGT. That's a Vanguard U.S. technology sector. It's returned 19 to 20% over the past 10 years, probably very similar to QQQ. There's SCHD. I personally have this one. This is a dividend growth U.S. ETF, which has returned 11 to 13% annualized over the past 10 years. IBV is a great one. I own this as well. This is an S&P 500 large cap blend. This has returned 13 to 13.6% over the past 10 years. And VOO is another one. This is an S&P 500 large cap blend. So just bear with me. I know I threw a lot of numbers at you there, but it is necessary to understand the returns in order to understand the math behind how we get to 10K by investing $5 per day. So now let me just break down the model to show you how we get there. For this, we're going to assume an 8% rate of return, which is less than any of those ETFs I just threw out there have returned historically. But I always like to be really conservative with my numbers. Worst case scenario, you have more money than you thought you were going to have, and it's like a good problem to have. So the model assumes 8% return. $5 per day is going to get us to roughly $150 per month. So with those numbers, we'll hit our $10,000 number in 4 years and 8 months. So over that time, you will have contributed $8,400 through your daily investments, and the other $1,600 will have came from market gains. So that's basically 320 additional days that you didn't have to work for. That's the idea behind investing, is you're basically buying yourself freedom. And if your goal was just to hit $10,000, then that's great. You can take your money and leave. But I want to throw out another example here that shows you how significant wealth can be built and how the money starts to work for you as time goes on. So let's just assume we keep on investing $5 a day for another 4 years and 8 months. That same period took us to get to $10,000. Well, now, after that additional 4 years and 8 months, your portfolio will have grown to $24,395. Of that, you will have invested $16,800, and your gains, meaning the money that your stocks return to you, will have been $7,595. So you can see, relative to the first example, a much, much, much higher percentage of your portfolio at this point is coming from your gains. And that's really the benefit of compound interest, because, your gains are giving you money, but then the money from the gains continues to give you money, kind of like Inception. It just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And that's why you'll hear people say compound interest is like the eighth wonder of the world. Over time, it only gets better. And if you want to play this example out into retirement, let's say you started doing this $5 a day drill when you were 25 years old and you kept doing this till you were 65. At that point, your portfolio would go to $483,162. And what's absolutely bananas to me is on that number, you'd have only contributed $72,000 to it, and your gains would have contributed $411,162. So you can start to see, like, from the first example to the second to the third, there's a disproportionate benefit from the portion of your money coming from the gains. And I encourage you, if you want to go test this, ask a financial advisor, go into Google and plug this into a compound interest calculator. Like, the first time I heard this, I had to do it for a project in school, and I thought the guy was lying to me. And I went home and tested this 15 different ways, and the math adds up, man. You can go check it out on your own. So I guess my call to action to you would be, don't wait. Start investing, even if it's a minimal amount. Start doing it regularly. You don't need to be rich to invest. You don't need to invest crazy amounts of money to become rich or to become what 95% of the world would consider rich. All you need to do is invest slow, steadily, safely, and the most important part, for a long, long period of time. I would encourage you to set this up as an automatic $5 a day contribution. And guess what? If you can contribute more than $5, contribute more than $5. I personally contribute $75 to $125 every single day. Because when I retire, I want to have way more than $483,000. I want to have $1 zillion. That's what we're shooting for here. So I don't know the math behind my exact contributions. I probably should know that. But all I know is if $5 a day for 40 years gets you, $400 and something thousand, $100 and something per day for 40 something years is going to be bananas. So that's my takeaway, really. Every dollar you invest today is one less you have to earn tomorrow, and that's how freedom's built. So just food for thought. This video could go into 1,000 different topics, and I could dig into any of these topics way, way deeper. So let me know in the comments section if there's any specific questions you have. And if I see enough of similar themes, then I'll do specific videos on them. But I hope you got something out of this. I hope you all get super rich and have a great day. And that's it, man. Peace.